야다 향수 태원의 연배 최저도 조우를 줄배 엔트다 추쇼 참으로리아 앵야로 첨지유
今天我要向台湾的请法团为主所有一切听法的信众问好，你们大家好。
当然了，讲是西罗尼不去送啊。
So first, the Chinese should say the Heart Sutra. Recite the Heart Sutra. In the concentration on the categories of phenomenon called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very
世界东北没，没问题。
啊。
다시는 그래서 시르님 그 나직다 엔데네 또 아做人的送节点给群众，这样等中让王管的东北这边，产呢，他对产这边，陆续出现地方东西。
So I will recite the mantra of Heart Sutra and also the praise of or the verse of salutation of the Mula Madhyamaka Karika by Nagarjuna, which is a praise to the Buddha by remembering the Buddha's deed of teaching the disciples.
Tisum Jave Yung Lo Cha Chen Lo, Teada Gade Para Samgade Buddhi So, Teada Gade Para Samgade Buddhi So, Teada Gade Para Samgade Buddhi So. Nian Shi Ho Zhen Long Gun Xi Ni Ji Ni Xi Den Zai Gang Yin Dang Zhuo La Gan Bo Zhen Lo Lam Xi Ni Jin Xi Den Zhen Zhuo Zai Bo. So
first is citing the salutation verse from Abhisamaya Alamkara, and then the salutation from Mula Madhyamaka Karika of Arya Nagarjuna, which says, I prostrated the perfect Buddha, the best of teachers, who taught that whatever is dependently arisen is unceasing, unborn, not annihilated, impermanent, not coming, not going, without distinction, without identity, and free from conceptual construction.
야, 다들이 조인이 결이 쳐줘 소리야. 다 천지시야래. 엔다 엔다 남주한테 내디 최시도 전에 내가 낭추 뭐지제. 엔디네 지된 양술렘 배추 다 샤바스니 대세로 니치게 다 들이대한다 셰셰 슝디 자시로 잡지 숨제 아니 젊으시게 땡지 때버체 디니부디 낭추 모르셔 저체 되네 조직이 남전지체 아니 젊으시게 너무 뒤뒤니체 디니부디 지전 양술렘 배추 샤두신다.
So today, the main disciples for these teachings are the Chinese devotees, the Chinese brothers and sisters. So usually what I do is when I give teachings, I first give an introduction to the Dharma, the Buddhism, and then after that give the teachings on how to apply this teaching in practice. So I make these two distinctions, two categories. Divide my teaching into these two categories. So with regard to the introduction part of Buddhism, I will teach the 3 chapters from Master Nagarjuna's fundamental stanzas on the middle way, called Wisdom, and then Lama Tsongkhapa's the Praise of Dependent Origination, and then with regard to the how to practice the Dharma, I'll teach the Atisha's text, the path to length of the path, and then Tsongkhapa's concise lamrim.
On sour shots. And that Tosungi 말하죠 심 투대야 지기야래. 말하죠 심 투대버도 수요 말이지. 이내 심 라면 앞에 투댕에디 투승체. 다조 차단이 우디 차인 거야래. 차단이 우디게 싸워디 디무인 거래. 자 딘디인도 말하죠 대원되기야래. 다 심주에 탈이야. 아니 룡하게 지 샹을 넣어봐야 되죠. 대디 독순고 왕의 연구에 인도산에 독순유모 싸워셔 사대인 말이 다 독순유모 세단데 독순세야데 7월 이렇게 좀 말이 말한주 시균디나를 여대버리 자상가 시균디나를 독순 연대야데 자와자와데 디무스체네 미시베 왕의 종인 말이 근데 인도산에 독순세야게 탑시디 아니 싫어 나와 바르쇼스체네 진입에 된다. 지대에 된 지신도 시에 시럽기 어나 개윤도 전에 아니 독송구 멤버들이 세야인 말이. 근데 윤지 싫어 나와 봐셔스. 봐. 다 대대비 냠린 제윤도 전에 지 치단한 게 개인 디디 다 마용쇼스 다들 말하면 알지. 마용쇼스. 다 디슈구데 싫어고 나온 바외관에 도순기 녀몽파 세네 제 자전배 고방 토바 삼기 애체도 메고 마인바 타예베 심지어 타다 남지 개사라 거야기 단 너는 타예베 심지어 타다의 유기 녀몽 도순 세야지다 싫어고 나온 바야지기 된대지기 체도자와 현든도로 장인도 전에 청주선바 개세 청주 선바사 디기 로디 장용기야래 로디 장백관에 랑게 르nga 이숨 대니 조심전의 명네 현든 코네 주야의 체도 그게 다 로장야 지라 개세 줄 주고쇼 사드 소인 바리 말한데 하고 싶지도 봐
So as the Chinese have this prayer, which they said earlier after the Heart Sutra, the first line says that may the three poisons be dispelled. So what happens with us is we are disturbed by these three poisons. Although nobody really wants to be disturbed, it happens to us. So why do we have disturbance of mind? It's because of the three poisons, and within the three poisons there are those of the attachment and anger, and they are rooted, which are rooted in turn in that of ignorance. And so all of us, of course, want happiness, but because of our disturbed mind, what happens is we also exhibit this through our voice and body, and therefore we cause ourselves harm through the body and our speech, and so. Therefore, what we need to do is to overcome these three poisons. And so you make this prayer saying, may the three poisons be overcome. The destructive emotions be overcome, and the three poisons. Out of the three poisons, in order to overcome it, what we need to do is that of overcoming the root of the three poisons, which is that of ignorance. And so, by overcoming the ignorance, how you overcome ignorance is by developing the wisdom. Which sees suchness, which sees things as they are. And so when the light of wisdom shines in us, then the ignorance and the three poisons are overcome. And therefore, through that, what happens is, now with regards to developing these three, the wisdom, the light of wisdom, you do not do it only in order to and also you make prayer that may all the obstacles, inner and outer obstacles, be overcome or go away. And so through this wisdom, the light of wisdom, the inner and outer obstacles should go away. And you are not, but when you make this prayer, you're not only dedicating it in order that you may become an arahat, someone who has overcome all destructive emotions, but you are actually for yourself alone but you are actually praying by saying the last word, which says, may I engage in the bodhisattva practices. You are actually dedicating your practice of having developed the wisdom and overcoming the obstacles in order that you may be able to engage in the bodhisattva practices with this big heart to work for the benefit of all sentient beings. And therefore, your light of wisdom is dedicated for engaging in the bodhisattva practices. And so it's really amazing prayer.
在第四句的时候，就是发愿，希望我们都可以这样，把自己的身与意所做的一切，完完全全都是为了众生。那这个寄送，非常的棒。
Yeah. 这样子对的，去学哪里啊？听个用没用啊？就是啥个这样，那我讲的。
Is on how many of you here for the first time that you have not come before?
Yeah.
Raise your hands.
好，哎呀。他的听俺的用的就这的呀，啊，的俺们给下的的还是大教授的，觉得样用个人，这样，没是的去年呀些的差距中年别说的些，差距退呢，但历史还是马儿哇过，个样退不赢呢，本来个人就能就送军里啊，本来就别是的，觉得。但能力是比兄弟在的，现的要的，因呢，杨家老百姓呢，差古老百姓呢，靠们这雇佣过的些呢，跟着送军要的，在这里印度，像是的，听讲呢，昆用子的，说是要去，上路要去当这些百姓呢，还是大表这蛮牛牙的绕远，是什么？ 마녀야, 녀보다 마녀 싱그러. 엔 사바 졸라다, 장스다 사바리, 앵에만 데셔다 사바치 고용구리, 독신다.
So, for those of you who have been to my teaching before, what I will be talking may be just a repetition for you. But basically, you have to know that, as we have a saying, that if you listen to, even if you have heard some teachings one time, you should not just be satisfied having heard a teaching just one time, but there's a saying that, if you listen to a teaching, especially Dharma teaching, the teaching for internal transformation, which is called inner science. It is said that if you have heard a teaching, of course you may understand something, but then it is good always to read the text over and over again. As it is said that if you read a text 9 times, you will gain 9 different insights from those readings. And therefore, I hope that what I'm going to say will not bore you, those who have already listened and heard my teaching. And for those of you who are new, it will be something new. So this is a blessing for tea.
잠시 그래. 잠시도 그래. 남지 자가는 8시래. 네.
No. Did you hear what I?
And the Vietnamese group, Jamare. Go in.
Where is the Vietnamese group today?
Vietnamese. Go.
Where is the Vietnamese group?
Go. Vietnamese. Go.
Big Jamul.
Oh. Then. No. Vietnamese. Oh. Good. The translator, Vietnamese translator, what?
Where is the Vietnamese translator?
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Korean.
So Korean translator. Korean.
Okay. I don't know. Some Japanese.
Are there some Japanese?
Few Japanese, I think. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. 다 들은 거 저대去年些前저 미유 가르스라고 있나? 안데 되게 안 됐을 때 독숨 용어 써서 셔서게 막 되게 러는 시리 제가 지금 묘모 방배 아니 터두기 다 자외연대 지금 랑생의 규리야 개발이야 그 림기 야 공의 공도 들어가지 말이 근데 인도 시르님은 아니야 가데 파랑가데 파라삼가데 부디사하스네 송도가 다다 소지 탐해봐 독송기 상황도 주되는 지 아니 말음직 대비체 아니 담아탈이야 아니 상계하셔야지 영야 매버래 좀 되더니 자샤네 장미숨지 소사네 아니 람림기다 림기 전에 다른 있는 거 봐서 상계가 송겨야래 너는 로람 시체 아니 데뷔 람직체니 간다 초람 졸람 통람 검람 시체니 로벨람 시디 문도 땅내 아니 밀로베 데부디 문도 치야래 다 드리인도 시르니 분할이야 가데 소전이체 가데 빠른 것들도 통람체 para sam ga de de ko lam de she buddhi sa sa de debut sa chagju du shi su sa da de ma le zhe zang wo lo rim ji ko ya kong ne kong du zhou gu du ga ba na qi ka su de ju jing gi den zhi gi ro da sha sha ba yin ne sa byu ji de ni ko rim be chen ni ko de wu ya ca gu ren ma do tui ji le yong ma ba 되는 신 난기 준제세야 거에 규의 겐 냐라 가서 그게 줍체 아니 규의 겐기 튠징 다 튠징 원에 개진디 진유로 당하네 도세네 아니 규 거는 건도 빼고야지 이 말이 자 근데 이르서네 로짐기 장야사디 뭐니스 차되게 하래
在这里听闻佛法，我们的目的是什么呢？就是他们之前所提到的面消三障。
What is the purpose of gathering here, our gathering here for this religious discourse, for this Dharma teaching and listening? As the prayer that you have said, the Chinese, which says, may the three destructive emotions of the three poisons be dispelled and so forth. what we have to know is that in order to attain the total freedom from all the destructive emotions, in other words, overcoming all the destructive emotions and finally reaching the final goal, we need to progress through the path gradually. And therefore, as it says in the Heart Sutra, gate gate parasam gate bodhiswaha. What we need to understand is that starting with this from now, from this ordinary state that we are in, we have to make progress on the path in order to and reach that of the highest goal of cessation, the liberation, total liberation from the destructive emotions. This cannot come only by making prayers. You cannot become liberated only by making prayers. Even in the case of the Buddha Shakyamuni himself, he proceeded along the path to the final goal of liberation. And so in the process of training on the path to enlightenment, what he went through are those of the paths of accumulation and path of preparation, which are the path of ordinary beings, and then the path of seeing and path of meditation, which are the transcendental paths of the Arya beings, and then finally became or attained that of the path of no more learning, which is that of state of Buddhahood. And so in the context of the Gate Gate mantra, the first Gate and the second Gate respectively refers to the path of accumulation and path of preparation, and then the Paragate refers to the path of seeing, and then Parasamgate to the path of meditation. And so by having gone through these paths, what you reach finally at is that of the Bodhi. Swaha, Bodhiswaha means made the foundation of the enlightenment be implanted, and so you reach that of the final goal of enlightenment, Bodhi, or awakening of Buddhahood. So even in the case of the external world, when you sow a seed, you cannot. The result comes gradually and not immediately.
Also, shirabrisha. Kareslamna shirabsadigi, piki nishin tingyari. Gyumzen samda, chabachani, kazegi chabachaba, deitsugi, any nebanyajigi. Jig turn, jig sabaji shead, sabashibe tendela, nebanya, yijinyaji, yungudoga. So shirabrisha. 나 싫어되게 좋아하잖니 아니 지금 나를 못 통지 통 나를 마시 시인도 자네 디 편윤다 디니 거바 디 시인도 자네 될 통역이 듬벌리기도 와 싸워다 듬베지기 될라 냐라베나 치모 통역이 듬바 치모원도 통역이 듬바 직세 되네 탈바 통역이 듬바 직세 되네 탐제 김에 고만 되니 누버 직세 누버면라 숨도와 단 누버들이 바다 소도 자처치 버봐 누버대 영야디 싫어 좋아지니 지 치마 원툴류된 토비하기 개진 가리임바 튠진 가리임바 디디 시베체베 디디 시베 싫어게 좋아체 원투 연대 통에 원도 연대다 시베 한 시르고 좋아지니 원도 통이 누벌리기도 와 다가는 신기 시베 님이 통 아니 시베 자와 묘몽 세아디 아니 그게 녀부 동된 예배 차네 아니 묘몽 채트야 이봐 묘몽 빵트야 이봐 묘몽 빵배 채외 연대디 원래라 지금 그게 딴도 대화 임버지 싫어고 좋아지네. 다 하고도요. 용무 뽕터 위협이 있어야 돼. 다 자와자와디 묘몽서야 돼. 진실로로 이민 디상당고요. 다 싫어고 상당도 줄에 마도 듬베 소투야요 말이. 자들이 인도다 묘몽방배 자와지 여시바. 랑기 규딩을 자와된 대신 줍시버지 시럽게 초아지는 통인도 전에 타바 되니까 누버들 되기도 다 대신도 난게 태도에 심지어 탐색이 규기 아다 뉴모바다 시제티베 지버디에 녀부dom대 여봐 아다 지버디 제루이 말 되는 지버 빵배 에네 타번 인딩 인 창주 세대하게 창주 첨보 세대하게 타번 인딩 인 터도 돼 지시절은 조롱이 봐 시절이 유시바 랑기 규딩을 랑신 당연히 랑기 규딩을 용시비 통하이나 규집의 심재션에 있는 용시비 통하는 거 봐. 다 대대로 로시티베이나 팬유 컨트리여 봐. 그다음에 거바 컨트리여 봐. 디디 시르고 초아치는 통인도 전에 아니 라미 조정 고만 던드니에 듬버디 레용도 와. 세디인도 조조 시르고 초아치는 용기야리. 아니 하고를 도야 다 잘람네 소원지가 하고다 잘람네 야 소원지기 아니 잘람네 통놈을 펴야 통놈네 공놈을 펴야 아니 공놈네 미로를 펴야 생각들이 냠샤 강도 되기 하리 제도 그걸 두야 말이 그래서 제도 그걸 듬베로지리 용도가 탑지 냠네들이 용기하러 와 냠샤 그도 싫어 코너래 자상가 산에 싹 공을 펴이는 자네 냠샤 코너 안에 펴대야 또 싫어 제용도 와 자 드네 있는 자네 말하자 변화 안다 시진 근데 시루님 사용거라 시르기 파르도 침바스네 특히 파르도 침바스 미시원 시르기 파르도 침바스네 송고도와 자든지 인도 시르도 남지기 시르도 시우지 개심 버리셔
So in the practice of the path to reach, first of all, I think I will just continue from the previous one. So even with regard to our mind, the transformation of mind, we have to create the conducive conditions and overcome those of the negative, the unconducive, unfavorable conditions, and thereby make progress through the path. So this is something which is a reality. And so with regard to that kind of practice, of overcoming those of the negativities and so forth, progressing on the path, with the main practice or the main what is primary is that of the wisdom. So what happens with wisdom is you first of all learn something new, and then go give your thoughts to it, reflect on, investigate, and then come to the conclusion and give again that of the conviction in the point of practice. And so through with the help of this wisdom, you gain certitude in whatever you are investigating on, and then through that certitude you will develop this aspiration or the to practice the path. And so within the practice of the path there are those of wishing to or aspiration for higher rebirth or liberation, and then there of the omniscient state of Buddhahood, which are progressively more profound and much more broader and extensive. And so, with the help of wisdom, what you do is, first of all, learn about the different qualities of, or the good positive qualities of the higher rebirth, and you know about them, and then through that understanding, through that knowledge, then you gain this aspiration or develop the aspiration to actually engage in the paths that lead to the higher rebirths. And so, in the case of these aspirations for higher rebirth or liberation and omniscience, these aspirations are helped by the wisdom mainly, and even with regards to seeing the samsaric, the shortcomings of samsara, and thereby wishing to go out of samsara or be free from samsara, you need the wisdom that helps it to gain that goal. And so you have to also see that through wisdom, what happens is you are able to see that the destructive emotions are something that you can actually overcome, that you can free yourself from. And there is the possibility to the possibility of freedom from these destructive emotions, and that the possibility to attain that of liberation is seen with the help of wisdom. And you also have to see that the destructive emotions are something which can be overcome by applying the antidote to them. And so with the application of the antidote that goes directly against these destructive emotions, you are able to overcome the destructive emotions themselves and attain the purity or the state of nirvana, or which has the two purities. And so to really see that these are possible, you need to use wisdom. Which sees that the possibility of overcoming these destructive emotions and the possibility of attaining that of nirvana. And once you see this possibility for yourself, then when you think about others, you extend the same logic to others being under the force of these the destructive emotions, and therefore it is possible that they also can reach that of nirvana, or that of the nirvana which is qualified by the two purities. Then you wish to have to attain that of the highest goal of enlightenment, of Buddhahood, for the sake of others. And so all these things are possible with the help of become possible only through the help of wisdom. And especially wisdom is very essential when you progress from through the path, for example, from the path of preparation to the path of seeing, and from the path of seeing to the path of the meditation. You actually go to the next level of the path only through the meditative equipoise, totally absorbing in emptiness. And therefore here also you see the importance or the significance of wisdom, which is the main factor which leads one from the lower level to the higher level while being in meditative equipoise. Whereas the aspirations that you develop come only during the post-meditation sessions. And in the case of Heart Sutra, in the case of the perfection of wisdom teachings, they are called perfection of wisdom. And so here this also the term wisdom here also shows the significance of it, the wisdom, in order to reach that perfect state of Buddhahood, or perfection of wisdom. And so in all these it is very important for us to understand. From all these, it is very what we get is that it's very important for us to develop this wisdom which sees the things as they are.
다와나 말한지 심비디 다들 너무 도순기 샤왕도 여대바 다디 요동 토야기 아니 난가로 쪼도 가렸으라나 아도 페지 시징 슝나리 페지 시징 그나리나 당에 식도 정부들이 가다 슝거기나 정부들이 가다 디자리 셈라 셈마치데 셈지랑신의 어사오 사치 어다 되게 셈라 셈마치데 사기 냐라 셈라 사디 디두사디 자와 셈투 모투타네 용구여바 인도산에 디두 창매 직다 툭스럽고 셈티체 친내디 디두 영향이 깨는데 지야래 이네 쪼쪼데 생각하는 용기야래 그래서 디디 인도산에 셈라스 다 셈마치데사디 셈사 나란조 로리야 지금 근데 시작도 없었나 류의 셈슬럽도 제 전쟁원의 여버지 로를 샤용도 와 전쟁원의 주요 말이지 전쟁원의 모주신도 전쟁원의 주보로 낭신 현등한테 머리버리지 자상가 머리버리기 신유 셈 랑문의 주보디 타녀도야 말이지 자 디데인도 셈도 셈 마치데스 셈 로로 나오는 신기 셈그 정신직 요 말이지 자 셈로 나오는 로로 나오는 신기 셈 가서 우리 그게 대다도 주베 동댕이디 셈지 주님 말이 다셈 지도 나왔다도 가서 우리 그게 주번 짐베 로디 친지로로 머리고 살지 셈 지도 나오는 시 주베 동동댕이디 리버 이시 다 리버 이시스님도 가다 셈기 내로 통을로지 로지구디 tangi yinlu la chijiro do tago lo yindu lokshi sim chida nao na shin dambar zindenge lo di chida nao na shi dumeba yinzang tedar zimbe lo di chijiro lo che da sim chida nao na shi duyo mari sim renshi ji duyo dong tong denge lo di sim renshi ji duyo dong re la dong na shi tong denge lo di lo chama che dela gyab ding yo che 근데 이번 인도산에 심기 견디 세트야레스. 그다 심 모티베다 간다지 견 치질로로 띠무고 왕의 중원디디 세트레스. 니네 심 정신이 왜사레스. 심라 뇽무 독순구 참배 견그 직디디 심기 정신을 쇼요 말레스. 심 정신 왜사레스. 어디 숨겨야래? 다 드리 인도산에 나한테 3월로 줄이야. 감 대시 님부세야디 이겨버려. 자, 줄라메 그돌이야. 상계 최 긴든 아니 감 청주 연대 틀레스네 도진네 든세 송구도가 아다 디기 아니 다 상계 최 긴든세야디 규접을자. 규접 상계의 최송 아니 긴든리아 아주 초스대 긴든 루루야서서 드즈르다 긴두차요 거라 긴두구주 셔요 거라 대달이야 아주 금이 야다치네 대다그 제수 럼니 로바도 밀로베 투줄을 여대베 최군조 된지지 랑기 줄이야다 문도 쳐야지 띵문도 치 토야데 가르슬럼나 감비어레스 감대신이 뭐야레스 감대신님부터 땡네 아니全国的你부터 중루레스全国的你부터 줄게니国定嘅차로베 토슈의 레벨 그도라 청주사들레스 그래서 대대비 청주 토바이나 아니 랑기 토바 연대 그제는 뭔구죠 정중문도 지하가 과바디 샹든도 미고 인도산에 아니 칠레 샹든 매밀 흔주고 칠레 전에 어다 도수고도 와 대와 디 구림되기 산지 좀 된데 로니도 다 족지스 공리야 디 청골 걸 룽기 청골 걸 룽기 청골 걸니 아니 코로나들어서 왔다 림베 전에 아니 간다 지좀 된데 기다 숨기 제수 럼네 투주로 똑배연데 최군조 고랑고 최군조 뭔도 줄네 된데게다 로베 긴든 차 아니 대다기에 렉션 먹고 쌈니 여대다 안도 자시로 디체 직차죠 루룩 쌈셔베다 렉션 차대요래 아다 대대비다 긴든 디디기다 디디기다 상제 최 긴든 대수부디기다 대수부터라 때네 나란주 규기 감티시니부디 청주로 교투야레스 자서 상제 최 긴든 감 청주 연대 틀레시 네 된소야데 구름든데 지금 송구도가 자와들이 인데 나란주 다다 동네기 상황도 열어디 동네도 세토그레스 가라서는 동네기 규디 친절하고 로레 대라 견도 dom대 열에 근데 이번 인도산에 동네기 주 머리부터 세트야 임베 차네 동네데 저도 그래 스타디 쉐리어리
以我们现在的心绪而言，是充满了三毒，被三毒所控制住了。那心如果
So, if you ask these minds that we have now, which is under the power of or influence of the three poisons, how can these minds be transformed? So, what is the reason to say that we can make transformation in this mind? In one of the Perfection Wisdom Sutras, it is said by the Buddha that the mind does not abide, or mind is not in the mind itself, because the mind is, the nature of mind is clear light. So what this is saying is basically the suffering that we experience and the experiences of pain and pleasure that we undergo are all mainly come or are rooted or come about based on mainly that of our mind. And therefore, how does this mind appear to us is such that although when we think about the mind, what happens is the mind appears to us as if it has some kind of objective existence. It has some kind of independent existence from its own side, and this kind of appearance is there. Whereas the nature of mind is not that it is not. It does not exist the way it appears to us. So the way it appears to us, and then when the mind appears to us as if it has some independent existence, and then when we cling on to it, when we actually hold on to that view, then what that is that of the ignorance. And so, on the other hand, the mind being empty of that way of existence, the independent existence, is the suchness or the reality of the mind itself. And so, when the sutra says the mind does not is not within the mind itself, it is actually showing this emptiness of the mind, that it does not exist the way we actually cling onto it, as if it has some kind of independent existence. And so, when you hold on to the mind as if it has some kind of independent existence, you have that of the ignorance. And this ignorance is counteracted by the wisdom, which sees that this is not the way the mind exists, that the mind does not exist in its independently. And therefore, the way of existence of the mind, that it does not exist the way it appears, has valid support from valid cognition. And therefore, because the ignorance does not have that kind of valid support, and also all these different negative states of minds that that have the source in this ignorance do not have any support like that. Therefore, there is you can see that these ignorance and the different negative states of minds that are rooted in it are something which you can actually eliminate from your mind stream. And so, secondly, the mind itself, the three poisons. You have to understand that the three poisons do not abide intrinsically in the mind itself. In other words, the three poisons are not in the intrinsic nature of the mind, and therefore the nature of the mind is that it is empty of such an intrinsic nature, the inherent existence, and therefore what we get at is that of the the teaching on the Tathagata Garbha, the essence of the Tathagata, which is in terms of that, the Mahayana Uttara Tantra by Maitreya gives teachings on deals with what are called the 7 Vajra points. So within the 7 Vajra point are those of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and then that of the Tathagata Garbha, and then that of the Enlightenment, and then the enlightened activities of the Buddhas. And so you have to see that the Buddhas, such as Shakyamuni Buddha, are for us a causal refuge in terms of a Buddha giving teaching to us, and then there are those of the causal refuge of the Sangha, such as Master Nagarjuna and the great Indian masters and Tibetan masters, who have actually applied the teaching of the Buddha within themselves, and then experienced the truth that the Buddha has taught, and become those of the beings, the masters on the path, and then those of the enlightened ones. So they become our examples for us, role models for us to tread the path that the Buddha has shown. And so the reason why it is possible for us to reach the Buddhahood and also become a Buddha Sangha, just as the Master Nagarjuna and so forth have reached, is because of the Tathagata Garbha that we have. And why they have reached the level that they have reached is because of this Tathagata Garbha as well. And so, and then with regard to the teaching of the Buddha, the teaching comprises basically of those of the truth of cessation and truth of the path. And so the highest cessation, the truth cessation, is that of enlightenment or of Buddhahood. And so when you see the possibility to attain that Buddhahood, you don't only think of yourself alone to reach that goal, but you think of the serving others, and therefore you engage in the practices of the Bodhisattvas. And through the practice of the Bodhisattva path, what you reach is that of the enlightenment. And once you become enlightened, then the enlightened qualities of the Buddhas emanate from there, or the enlightened activities of the Buddha emanate from there. And so in the case of Shakyamuni Buddha, who appeared over 2,500 years ago, he gave teaching to us, and he turned the 3 wheels of the turning of the wheels of the Dharma, and then the masters who have applied the teachings and attained those of the truth of path and cessation, and therefore given the teaching, such as the Fundamental Treatise on the Middle Way by Nagarjuna.
semmachi sida digi kolo parwa shijing chongo digi semmachi betu da kolo tama digi semdiran shine wesao sa disung shaji da kolo tamena do mangu yare dinanga da do zo gyulame shejazayon do dijibe ningbun do sa da di semran shine wesao disung mo do da 가서 우리 그게 다는 묘한다 콜로 당부디 택면도 저기 아래 만화도 넘겨 빨리 슝도 제디 소체 콜로 당부나 날리기 아래 다데네 콜로 발바다 콜로 타만 이부디 렉자게 조르샤 자다 택진기 슝사한테 숨기 아래 전에 다딘만 드바장행기 단 제시 소 루루다 토미니 루루기 시징기 안다 콜로 파르바 시징기 슝 셈라 셈머치데 세 숭샤가 셈머치루디 당고블루루기 릭조나 다조 자시르나리아 셈머치베디 샌드위치 송고도와 다스지 런시 왜서서 안디 아니 고블루루기 취니데바 다 드즈나노 아니 셈 런신 요에서디 직송인 거야리 다가는 신기 아니 토미기다 가시우리 그게 다 라마슈네면도 토미기다 간다 조이니 지 그게 슝도스디 잠주땡아 세하게 잠번고 슝 지도가 다 뒤난 게 규라마 세야돼 디네다 속이야리 아니 토미랑 게 규로 통지 드즈전자도가 쟤네다 시진기 슝라 아니 뭐든 동력이 좀 받체 뭐든 동력이 좀 봐. 동력 소용도 자네 동시 최전기 처리야 되게 안다 셈라 세하게 다 최전 셈디 셈마치브리 셈 송샤하게 송샤는 신기 셈 쟤네다 최전의 소용도 자네 아니 이 시진기 슝나리야 아니 제가 자서신 송샤되기 다 시 풍금 기지기 채 람기 에너지 창조 소중을 써봐 아니 지금 신주다 지가 드즈제디 아니 송 퍼진주 다래 퍼진주 드즈제 송 데뷔살이야 아니 돌로서베 셔디디 동시 최전의 수를 송네 대탐적인 신주의道에 송도가 싸우다 뭐든 동력이 좀 버디 고물루르고 때 배든 뭐도 좀 버디 자본금도 뭐도 되는 뭐 송셰 어디 미친버리 그래서 다한테 들이대 쉬야지 뭐든 동력이 좀 봐, 소울 봐, 대야게 고물루르고 송 자시로 다 디마셔야지 나 자시로 용서로디 뒤주야 말라 다 자시로기 랍진이 써주버디 제 거라 마당 내 시주자네 냐를 랍진 써주버디 셔 랍진 써주버디 쉬고 랍진 쉬 랍진 잡게버디 셔 되네 랍진 니슈 접시버디 셔체 아다 랍진 숨부터 막 독스 방 독스 딩니 셔바이나 찬스 로리야 즉 차를 대보정 돼야지 저는 좀 독스니 셔되게 나라에 배저 로드자네 드네스는 말 로하신 야우도 ene rabjin chuzobshibtigi da rabjin chobjebtigi da ranshimebe chusubtigi ene pa gyaro pa gyeyundu ene rabjin hamadiri töngyore so da triduksinda 냐라 자슈셔다
So, from the quotation that was quoted above from the sutra, the way it says the mind does not abide or have the mind in itself. The mind, the first mind refers to the first turning of the wheel of Dharma, and then when it says the mind is not within the mind, that refers to the second turning of the wheel of Dharma, and then the next line which says the nature of mind is clear light refers to that of the third turning of the wheel of Dharma. Which is to say that it shows that of within the third turning of the wheel of Dharma, there is this the essence of the Tathagata Sutra, which shows this the nature of the mind, the clear light nature of the mind. And so the first turning of the wheel of the Dharma, of course, is considered as teaching of the Hinayana Sutras, and which contain the Pali language. And then the second turning of the wheel teachings are those of the Mahayana Sutras. And then with regards to the main commentators to the second and third turning of the wheels of Dharma, we have those of the masters Nagarjuna and Master Asanga. So Master Nagarjuna actually does is he comments on in this text of the fundamental stanzas on the middle way. Master Nagarjuna comments or makes explanation of the second turning of the wheel. In other words, the phrase where it says the mind does not abide in the mind, and then with regard to the clear light nature of the mind. Master Nagarjuna has written the text such as the in praise of the sphere of reality, or Dharma Dhatu, Dharma Dhatu Stova. And then Master Asanga has, of course, received teachings from the 5 different texts from Maitreya, Lord Maitreya, and amongst these 5 different treatises of the Maitreya, there is the Mahayana Uttara Tantra. And the Mahayana Uttara Tantra also comments on the nature of the clear light nature of mind. And then Asanga also has written a commentary to it. And so with regard to the perfection of wisdom teachings of the Buddha, what they explicitly show or teach is that of the emptiness, and so it uses the mind and other phenomena which are called the 808 different bases. These include those of the basis, the path, the ground, the path, and the result. And so, with regard to the basis, in order to establish emptiness, these different bases are used, such as the aggregates, then the constituent factors, and the sources of consciousness, and so forth. And then, with regard to the path, we have the paths of the 10 perfections and so forth. And then with regard to the results, we have all the different qualities of the Buddha. And so these different subjects are used as the basis to establish emptiness and in the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras. And therefore, with regard to the explicit content of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, Master Nagarjuna mainly is the commentator, and with regard to the implicit content of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, the main commentator is that of Master Lord Maitreya. So Master Nagarjuna explains the explicit meaning of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras in his the fundamental stanzas on the middle way. And so this is the text that we are going to go through as introductory part of Buddhism. And so in terms of teaching, I'll teach the chapters, 3 chapters, the chapter 26, 18, and 24 in this sequence. And so this is easier for you to keep in mind, and it also is better for me to read the text in this order. And so first I will read the praise of the salutation, verse of salutation from the fundamental stanzas of the middle way.
산지 좀 된다리야 최준색이 하래 자 최준자단데 에네 산지기 주 꾸이연데 지다 된데기 고송투기 연된 셴 미주벌 조디 산지 좀 된데 숨기연데 샴데 뒤도가 조베 산지 만남게 담바스 마와 담바시리스 마외 깨쳐 지금 마와 담에 버리스 다 마와 담에 버티 지르네 나주 출루 저번에 대간 게 출루 변은 소셔지 상물로 소소스 미 담바 데 메다 연대 간다 지금 졸라 팬베 직다 참제다 직대서 제 여대와 나가는 신기 캠페인 연대 여대봐 단 누베 연대 여대봐 또 시행을 받아 그래서 산지 좀 nen데 가서 최바 지금 거네 샤베이나 저불이 디간기 뭐네 지다 힌두 담바즈이네다 지 나가는 신기네 그나 가서 우리 이슈 담바이네다 저저태디 지 산지 장성 그 주변에서 하나만 놓쳐야 돼 와 따와만 잡순 거야 얘들 간다 밀리야 그냥 루버这是嘞Bhutanese
So there are some Bhutanese people who have come here. Holiness greets them.
다 맨자와디 떠주부터네 맨자래 연구야 봐. 산다 떠주부터네 다 사제 좀 된데 떠주디 다 담바션다 수치도 맨자요 돼. 세비스타리. 사진에 인도 고불루기 랑게 담발이야. 대사자인도 자네 지 담배지 구배 통는 믿음을 도사로 된데 매매체. 참지전 제사 된데 매매체. 마 담배버리 신송도 와. 다와나 마 담배버 이나 마 담배버 임베 균제 가래. 균제 강을 때네 마 담배버. 마 담배버 가져다 마 담배버 차버렸으나. 에네. 땡진 잡은 중앙스. 땡질 세하기 떠주디 낭배추 코나마도 신수 찍셔야 말해. 다 땡질 세하디기 땡진 잡은 중앙스 세하기 고아디 뜨네 주바 세하지. 다 뜨네 주단들 야 일본이체. 굿 제비치 뭐비쇼 가다 가이나야 랑기 굿의 깬라 뜨네 주버리 사게 굿의 깬라 뜨베 듀룩 직체 다 지금 뒤체 마세게 쇼 가다 가이나야 아니 라랑기 차셔를 뜨네 아니 주버리 쟤는 차셔를 뜨네 중앙 차셔를 뜨네 주버스 다 때는 중앙세하게 중디 düzeyli şöyle çare yine güginli 중앙 세쇼도와 güginli 깨버려다 다 dümeşege şöyle çare yine güginli 깨버서 자토야 말이 그 가서 지산 gügin이 dü셔 말이 그래서 gügin이 dü 맞춰버려 어느 뒤 땡진 잡은 중앙 땡중 컨디스레스라나 때는 중세하게 중에 된데 주에 돼 예배 돼 실전에 때는 예바 때는 주바 두기는 마등에 두무시게 쳐디디 예 땡중임be 금전디 디디 라랑 차셔를 되는 주도가 전에 단 니도가 저다 또스마 십차로 식사로 스타바이나 때는 중에 그 땡중 dunjege 땡중직 다 때는 딱에 땡중직 땡중 니송이야래. 땡중 니송대야 되게 쪼대 때는 따고들해. 사다 안데 때는 따고 송이야래. 때는 따고 땡진 잡는 중앙서야. 아니 다 때는 따고 가다 규진 현了对等哎让主要的让王个主没头让来先把几个到底主等哎让来先把几个王给主等哎去所以这印度个对呢主吧对呢主吧印度个让王给对面让王个主吧没等哎去所以这印度大体上的搞不明白就没把写说给搞说给送的搞说给的但对这定中抗拉斯是吧究竟的定人居民定中抗拉斯给我有搞不有哎呢可是军切的切不的军米切的但军纪打过的哎呢中的即他的身这样有点那个却康熙尴尬了说过台南我让说落了那我能心机尴尬 rawang trubachi yar beslamna rawang tru yamaris 강다 깽가 라 속에 드베치 ngaransol야 nang dengedi rang yimlu yimbu터 부정아서 로라 실기야 대가라 응원했다 가서 코랑 의변 내주에 터둘 뒤버지 함로를 실기야 그래서 코레 내루 yim부터 부지 로라 실기야 내루수 주베 깽가 이미 짜주다나 니야요 말이 내루수 주야나 내루 최근의 로티기 니고야지 내루 최근의 로티기 많이 벤내가 올라 그 내루수 주메가 따리 그봐 그래서 근데 이제 인도 자네 땡중 강라스 깽가로 속아 패는 저겐지 여대겐지라 캐시 땡중 강라 캐시 깽가로 속아 년도 매버치는 여대겐디 대시를 주베 깽가래 말에 신의 자요나 니야요 말이지 근데 인도 자시를 군자봐 안다 다做식세면로 식세기 나와잡아야 다 식세기 나려야 땡중 강라 깽가로 속고 여등에디 로 강라 때문에 깽가디도 못 주버렸으나 파베 대권은 무슨도 통해 삼위 이시 미도베다 파베 이시기 싱물라 이시기 싱무 이시기 동니 무슨도 쓰디어와 동니 무슨도 쓰비 싱물라 동리도 매등에게 쳐디디 동리만인게 쳐디디 견스야 매봐 자 동원이 코나마도 내로 대코나니 짱보마도 신 가야다 세겨 말아 그래서 디데인데 땡중 강라 가서 캐시 땡중 강라 가서 캐주 강라 여등에디 파베 냠샤 이시 대코나니 무슨도 시비 싱물라 땡가로 소다다 차와레스 가려서나 파괴 냠샤 이시기 대코나니 무슨도 쓰게 되게 하래 깽가로 써버디 대코나 머주거리 딘제 인도 대코나 머주신도 대코나 따리 이게 봐 나한테 디디 짜요나 니야메리 어때 숨겨 하래 대대비다 인중기 대코나니 라왕거 거는 넘버쟁에기 아니 방도 조베 산제디 마웨 계셔 마와 담바 마와 담에 버추리스 딘제가 담바들 차차로 송해 말이 당 가서 제디 뭐로 때네 뭐 스타트 주베텔라 겨스기 하래 코레 뭐파 돈정에텔라 가고스기 하래 딘제 인도 뭐로 때네 냠벨체베 갱가니 균을 때네 균 내등에 딱봐 균체베 차바 균을 때네 차다니 유를 때는 롱니스 유현식은 들어 니네 현동 좋아스르잖아요 롱니 달러 때는 직타대 직도 도마 써야지 그 낮은 담에 전에 직이는 그 담에래 도마스는 낮에래 전에 어디 그 달러 때는 직타대스 대대비 단예배 최 디기디 나라서 로 나오는 신이 되게 한다. 선로 선모치대 소원은 신기 경가로 서고 디디 여리디 이내 여단디 민국왕게 여성신 마도 되게 은에 줄 지요 말이 어떻게 숨겨야 돼. 다 디기 자시르 자자 땡중기 대권하니 정신도 예배 또뭐 특별 공부 땡중 라왕 거는 넘버쟁에게 마원 담에 봐 달라 차차로 송이 버리
And so, with regard to that salutation verse of the Mulamadimaka Karika, the text says, you who taught that whatever is dependent arisen and so forth, there are two stanzas in it. And so when Master Nagarjuna pays his homage to the Buddha, he doesn't praise the Buddha by way of recounting the Buddha's other qualities, such as the qualities of his body, speech, and mind. But what he actually praises the Buddha, how he praises the Buddha is by calling him the best of the teachers. And so the best of the teachers, meaning that the Buddha is someone who is peerless, who is a peerless teacher, a sublime being. Of course, generally speaking, we can say that all the different teachers or the founders of the different religious traditions have their different qualities, qualities of wisdom and power and so forth. But in the case from the point of view of from the point of view of Buddhism, we can say that these great teachers of the other traditions, such as Hinduism or Christianity and so forth, perhaps they may have been manifestations or emanations of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, from judging by how greatly helpful they have been to the humanity through their teachings. But the difference between the other religious traditions and Buddhism is we can delineate that difference on the basis of the philosophical understanding. So with that, in that regard, the teaching of the Buddha in terms of philosophical understanding, philosophical view, is different from other religions. And therefore, from this point of view, Nagarjuna is praising the Buddha not by recounting those are the qualities of love, compassion, and so forth, but from the point of view of being that of a peerless teacher. So the reason for the Buddha being a peerless teacher that Master Nagarjuna gives is that of the teaching of dependent origination. So this teaching or the dependent origination, the philosophical understanding of dependent origination of things, is unique to Buddhism, and it's not found in any other religious traditions. And then within the understanding of within this dependent origination or dependently related arising of things, we have two levels of dependence. One is that of dependence in terms of causality, dependence or origination, dependent origination through causes and conditions, and then so in this case we can talk about the causes being brought about through the results or the effects arising from causes and conditions. And then there's a second level of this dependence, which is that which can be applied to all phenomena, whether they are produced phenomena or unproduced phenomena. The way they are dependent is such that they are dependent on their parts. And so in dependence on the parts, there is the dependent origination of everything. And when you relate this dependence on the causality of things, or the things that are produced that come about as a result of causes and conditions, then we have the dependence in terms of the causality, and then there's another level of understanding this dependence, which is that the uncaused phenomena are dependent in the sense that they are dependent on their parts. And And so, to go further, deeper into this, the understanding of the dependence, we have dependence, first of all, of causality, and then the dependence by way of designation. So designation, dependence in terms of designation. And so here, what the text, this salutation of the verses are mainly written from the point of view of this level of dependence, that things are only dependent and dependently designated. So, since things are dependent for their existence, what it shows is that if the things are dependently arisen, then they do not arise, or they do not have any existence from their own by their own power, by their own force, and so they are their existence comes about in dependence on other factors and on others. And so the understanding of dependent origination, when you say that something is dependently arisen, then or established, then it shows that they do not they don't exist by way of their own power. And so, with this understanding, the 8 different alternatives, such as which are given in the text, in the salutation verse, where it says, "I prostrate to the perfect Buddha, the best of teachers, who taught that whatever is dependent arisen is unceasing, unborn," and so forth. And so, these are from the point of view of the things that come about, first of all, from the 8 different alternatives, such as not ceasing and so forth, are given from the point of view of the dependence on causality, And so, in that case, now, when it's talking about the arising and or unceasing and unborn, this is from the point of view of the nature of things, the nature of produced phenomena, those things which are brought about by causes and conditions, and then not coming and going, or not annihilated and impermanent, are taught from the point of view of the continuity of things, that things cease to exist anymore, continue to exist anymore, or that they are permanent and so forth. And then that not coming and not going is taught from the point of view of the place or location, from going from a far place to from a near to a far place, or coming from a far place to a near, and so forth. And then being without distinction or without identity is taught from the point of view of whether things can be talked about as being single or many. And so, in this way, although when we see these things arising and ceasing and so forth, what happens to our mind is that there is the appearance of cessation and of things, as if they happen without depending on other factors. But this is not the way they exist. The arising and cessation and so forth happen because of some other factors. And so the cessation and arisal and so forth appear, although they do appear as if they are the true nature of things, but they are not the final nature or the true ultimate nature of things, although they do appear as if they are such. And therefore, when the text says that they are without without cessation and without birth and so forth, this is taught from the point of view of how it is seen by a wisdom which actually searches for the final reality of things. So that wisdom, when it looks at the produced things and checks for the final nature of the production and so forth, it does not find that production and so forth are the final nature of these produced produced phenomena, and therefore the production and so forth, or cessation and so forth, are not in the true or the final nature of things. Because if they were the final nature of the produced phenomena, then they should be found by this wisdom, which actually searches for the final nature of things. And this wisdom, searching for the final nature of things, do not find these production and so forth in the ultimate sense. And therefore, this wisdom precisely refers to that of the uncontaminated wisdom of the Arya beings. So, from the perspective of the uncontaminated wisdom of the Arya beings, which sees emptiness only, there is no appearance of cessation and production, and birth, annihilation, impermanence, permanence, and then coming and going, and distinction and identity. And therefore, this is taught from that point of view.
All right. That is
So Master Nagarjuna pays homage to the Buddha for being that kind of peerless or unmatched teacher, for showing this the final nature of the dependent originations. Now we move on to 26th chapter.
Led draw sene. That's on Saturday. Some day, Chongo Tambo Sudane didn't do never with the bow, didn't go with the balls in the Tabashis Sondoa. That Shuru Shandazo, any that when the Jitan Kaba would again the Yitigi, any Kunjo, Kunjo Rani, Kueva Yenza. Kunjo Rangili saw the Kunjo Rangili Ichana, any digitubration, then the Sintas Dandekwa. Diana Changjabat Kaza, Changjal Hamibata. She Dagana Shingi Tisarme. Chiruba. The Jidaka would Dugi Amare. Jidaka would Dugi Amare. Yine Hazard that. The Haram look to Ajre, Changjib Chashana, Da Shiri Givutigi, any so Namjur, not so you but so Juve, but so Rangshin, but the Mashiba Wangita, Chongaris, the Mishiba Wangi, Koa, and Shekdua. That ready in Dagana Shingi under the Chibube Shunale, Jidako Dugi Hamari, the day in the sun, a Pager, Mishiba Wangi, Dungi, so the Pager double leg. You said like a shooting Medaya. Men of unity schedule, nice sympathy, chops race, chop down. Beautiful sham, Rose Namramushin. Church, so the ship's housing made that dingy with the Jidako Mendiva Indu, any Dungi on the Adita, Mishiba Wang race, a Chiung Paget out of Inquire. Taka the Nilu Mishiba race as Paget. Changjabe, Tandam Daba, the Kuzo de Basishektua. Paget Jibube Pagiare. So that the Indu, and the day Sanjebe, that the Cabra Chigdi, Didu long job. Taxi round Daji, Mendiverata. Jinekoba Mendiverella, Taxi round Daji, Mendivere. Changjabada, the Jibu Nika Logi, Jinekoba Mendivere, Taxi round Dan Dukiari. Da Dutumeva, Dagba, Ada Shell Tabamebe, Rawa. Gunley, Takasu, Mushi Gunley, you think, Chibuimba. Jenny. Delicious. Other dinner made this an da de dendribution shimarwa. Do you turn it to a shimano? So the lead is an called Tenjung turn the Chateau Yamare. So Tenjung said, Nawatangare. So that the mentality, that are the Shiva Nashiri, Sanjay the Chisan, Jiden Kobo, Mindunga the Digi, Sachuti. That Changjembe, so jewelers in Shaggy, just all Saturday. That the Takwa Imbari. Cheduzane, Takwe jewelers, Takwe given of Shaggy. A dear Mother Chason. Sanjay Vishune, the Tendril said, the Tendriana Juni Sunundu, Tendriana Juni Sunduzane, Dern, Tendric Dernalia, Diebe Dijuns. Could you jinji ever in some? David shot the Jungiaris, Remado, humiliate Maris. Diane, Julie gave a ready, but Chavobo Chigita gave a ready in it, Chavoboti, Takoyong Maris. Didn't you do Casati? Midagwe gains. Yujin Kore, Jodrongegi, Midawash Gurmato, Chanjeb Devanasi, Jodrea meeting, so Takwachigi, Jodra Udengegi, maybe should get to Maris. That's Sanjebe, Gigi, Jir, Yevachigi, Yujin Yevachigi, and Jim Maris. Humility of Maris. Taganashiki, Jiden Kobabu, Loyo, Wondra, Tony gave Maris. For Anna, Jujin, ever in some, and the Chumaris. That Jujin dear, Cora Rang, Jebukiagi, Nubaji Hoyati, Rani, Yuki Squares. So did they into Gulotoma meeting shame to her? So did they into that? Gaza. Midawa gains. Diane Midawa Yinzechigi. Any Jebu, but not so much. Mida, Eugene, you say, Jebu, you say, the Maris. Jebu number casual condition, T, June to Magic, you cover damage quarries. Didn't you do new vacancies? That's something they Dernalia, Dear and Dinjum, Shanny. Casul, Loyo, Mondra, Tony. Get about the Maris, humiliation Maris. Decay, say Ducore, Gizig, Rani Gizig, Gulatani, Geochores, decay, Medavican. That issue would they come Maribes, any Dujikis, Dungen Dujikis. Talaten and Namshi, Diana Junitima Sunkuari. So did they do the new vacancies? Dungen Dushing the Dungen Dung Sushimeva. Dungen addition to Dungen Dushizani, Mishiba Wangchumro. So did they do Mariba Wangi, Dungen Dushib and Dushichumbri, Statisum.
在第31页第26名，众生之所故，为后期三行一起四行。
So in the first verse of the 26th chapter, the analysis of the 12 links of existence, it says, obscured by ignorance and for the sake of rebirth, we create the three kinds of actions. And so here, first of all, in the first turning of the wheel of Dharma, the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths. And so the Four Noble Truths are so this from the point of view of the theistic religions as well, what they say is that everything is created by God, and therefore the followers also seek they seek happiness or their goal or salvation, so forth, by submitting themselves totally to the Creator God. Whereas within the non-theistic religions, there is the Samkhya school of classical Hindu tradition, which do not assert a creator God. And so, according to them, also the suffering that we undergo, that we experience, is said to be because of not knowing the nature of that primal factor. They say the primal factor, and because of that ignorance, we cause suffering. Whereas they still say that this person, the conscious self, is because it's ignorant about the true nature of the primal factor, it causes suffering for the person. And so there is some kind of a teaching on that suffering comes from ignorance, from that. According to them, from the point of view of Buddhism. And similarly, in the case of Jainism, they say that because we are ignorant about the self, therefore we cause the suffering. And so again, here also there's an implication of ignorance giving rise to that of suffering. And so both of these traditions, Samkhya and Jainism, while they do not assert that of the creator God, they still do assert some kind of a permanent unitary autonomous self of a person. And therefore, although I do not know much about their philosophy, as I usually say that my understanding and knowledge of these traditions are rather very limited, as we say, the saying goes, "Jack of all trades and master of none." So I'm always somebody like that. And so, with regard to the knowledge of these, the philosophical interpretations or philosophical understanding of these different traditions, but according to Buddhism, what we say is that there is no, on the one hand, there is no creator God, who is the doer of everything, and on the other hand, we also say that there is no permanent single autonomous self which enjoys or experiences pain and pleasure. And so whereas those of the Samkhya and Jainism, they do assert such a permanent self. The Buddhism says that everything is come about in connection through causes and conditions, through independence on other factors. And so this teaching on dependence or dependent origination is not something that the Samkhya and the Jains are able to explain, but this is unique to Buddhism. And now, in the teaching of the Buddha, with regard to the dependent origination, the Buddha says, because this exists, that arises. So what this shows is that things have causes and conditions for them to arise. And therefore, things cannot, if something arises, it shows that it has causes and conditions, and that it cannot arise without those causes and conditions. And therefore, this shows, according to the Sangha, what is known as the unwavering condition. So, if something arises because of causes and conditions, you cannot have a permanent doer of it, a creator of it, which is permanent. And therefore, this shows that since things change, the change itself is brought about through the causes and conditions. Because there are causes and conditions, therefore change is possible. And therefore, things cannot be permanent, and that they must arise in dependence on their individual causes and conditions. And so this shows that of the impermanent condition, that things change because of causes and conditions, and that they cannot arise without those causes and conditions, and they cannot arise from some permanent, unchanging causes and conditions. And then even though things do arise in dependence on causes and conditions, and every thing cannot give rise to everything else. Once you have some effect or a result, that result must have a cause which is concordant to it. And so a result or an effect arises in dependence on a concordant condition. And therefore this shows that of what is known as the potential condition. And so in this way, the Buddha also, so we have these three conditions, which are those of the unwavering, the condition, the impermanent condition, and the potential condition. And then the Buddha also, with regard to that of the impermanent condition, the Buddha also mentions in the same sutra, where it says because this exists, that arises. He also says, because this arises, that arises. And this shows that of the impermanent condition. And then because of the condition of ignorance, the karma arises. And therefore it shows that although we do not, that all the suffering arises through causes and conditions, so which is something anybody doesn't want, but because of ignorance we cause the actions.